We'll start over. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back into Crypto's News. It's me, Omar Bam, aka Crypto. So I was talking to myself for about 5 minutes there because it turns out I didn't hit the go live button here on YouTube, but it looks like we're good right now. Hello everybody, good to have you back. It's me, Omar Bam, Crypto, as I said before. Yeah. And we got in the background the illustrious L, as you can see. She's back there playing RimWorld, holding Wallace. And Winston, you can see right there. And I have Kiwi here. They're all making special guest appearances today while we just kind of hang out and say, what's going on, guys? It's been a rather slow week when it comes to crypto. Bitcoin is still surprisingly back under $30,000. You have Ethereum around $1,888. I'm frankly surprised after that Ripple news that Bitcoin did fall below 30,000 again. Now it's like almost conspiracy like. It feels like there are maybe some forces out there that want to keep Bitcoin around $30,000 at least temporarily, if not forever, right? Because you have like the BlackRock CEO talking about how there is no upper bound for the Bitcoin prices and saying all sorts of good things about crypto. But for the most part, it doesn't really matter whether the price appreciates for Bitcoin, for them anyway, because if they do launch their ETF, BlackRock, then they make their managers fees, right? They get fees if people buy, sell this damn thing, hold this damn thing. They have plenty of assets under management. I don't think they really care very much if Bitcoin goes up. They're still going to make their money. But and you've seen that, right, happen. There are the gold bugs out there who talk about how the price should have mooned a long time ago. Maybe the same thing happened with Bitcoin, although I still kind of doubt it. It's somewhat surprising that so much selling pressure comes out here. Anyway, yeah, what's up with you guys? Just wanted to hang out, say we're all doing quite well, doing well, and still keeping track. Hey, what's going on, oh Nickel? Hey, Romantico. Hey, Kevin. As far as my piano practice, thanks for asking a question, by the way, because it's supposed to be an Ask Me Anything. That's right. So I was actually playing some piano right now. I was playing some Bach. I've been reading through this sight reading book that I got a long time ago, and it's like progressive. Hannah Smith, I believe, is the writer of it, and basically it just gets harder and harder. So it's interesting because yesterday I was going through that book somewhat, and then I started playing Cabaret, the sheet music from the Broadway musical afterwards, and I feel like my sight reading capability was better, even though it was somewhat simple what I was sight reading in the Hannah Smith book before that. So I don't know if it's just like, over time, the progress that you make is so incremental, especially with piano after a while. You might see it a lot in the beginning when you first start learning a lot, but I think over time it slows down, so it's almost imperceptible. But when you jump back to like a book that you haven't played in a while, I think it becomes a little bit more obvious. So I used to do this thing back in the day where I would basically try to play every single book, and those are all my like sheet music books back there. I would try to play through every single book, like from cover to cover, and then I would just repeat the process over and over. It wasn't the most efficient way of getting better at sight reading, I'll have to say, but I did. Maybe I did get better because of it. But anyway, when you go back to the book after having done that whole cycle, you do see definitely some changes. But part of it, I imagine, is because you're somewhat memorizing as you're playing it, even though you're not repeating stuff. Some part of your brain kind of remembers the chords and the notes and how they came together and the progression and what the song is like. But I'll tell you what, page flipping, man. I cannot page flip for my life still, bro. What's up with you, Nickel? How have you been? Are you still doing the Reddit videos? Hey, Ulmo. Yeah, it's been a while since that DAO hack. I remember we were in Miami Beach, living very quaintly at the time, and it was L and I, and the DAO hack happened like in the middle of the night there, Eastern time, and I was like, I have to put a video out, and I did. It's still up there. If you go to like cryptosnews.com and you hit the old, let me see if we can do that real quick. Hit the old tab there. Wait, cryptosnews.com. I don't know if you guys are seeing the browser window right now. Hopefully you are. Yeah, there. Okay, so yeah, if you go to like old videos, it links you over to odyssey.com, which is apparently going to be relaunching soon. I'm interested to see what they do right now. One of the first major crypto companies that was reputable that was attacked by the SEC. And now, I mean, you had the Ripple case ongoing as well. Odyssey did lose in this case against being a security, so they just have a lot of grievances. Anyway, all my old videos are still there. Content, you can go all the way back and you can probably watch the DAO hack. Let's see. DAO hack. Let's see if it comes up here. Oh yeah, it probably will. But I put DAO hack in a bunch of different titles, so I don't know if we're actually even going to find it there, or it's in a lot of the different hashtags. But yeah, what a different time. Maybe, and Elle's been having these crazy dreams recently, the last 2 days, where like she's back in Miami Beach. So maybe we move back to Miami Beach at some point. I think that would be interesting. I'd be down. I'd be down for it. I have no idea, man. Oh, there it is. DAO is under attack. What? I was such a youth back then. This was episode number 12. Wow. Back when it was called Ethereum News Show. Can you guys hear that? I don't know. You guys can't hear that, can you? Maybe I think it's my source for audio. Let me just change that real quick. It should take 2 seconds. Let's see. Hopefully this fixes it.
Like 2 million F.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
What's going on?
Flashback.
I'm sorry, my voice is a little gone. Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Crypt0. It's currently 6:15 in the morning, and the DAO is being attacked. Someone has siphoned.
Oh, congrats, Nickel. That's awesome, dude.
$100 million US, something like 2 million F, into a child.
I still call it F back then instead of ETH.
Basically, the network is being attacked right now, the DAO network. So people are freaking out and selling. However, there is an emergency meeting with the Ethereum developers currently going on, trying to figure out a fix for the attack. There's been a security vulnerability that has been identified previously.
I'm totally awake during this video.
Kind of left ignored while they worked on a proposed framework 1.1 that an attacker or a hacker has currently taken advantage of in the Ethereum space, particularly in the DAO. So this person has been siphoning out money, trickling huge amounts of money out of the DAO and into this other child DAO to eventually put that money in their own account. And from my understanding is Vitalik and his team.
Anyway, yeah, there it was. Like, we were still trying to figure out what was going on online. I just remember opening up, I think it was ETH Trader. It must have been ETH Trader at the time, which was like the main subreddit for Ethereum. Maybe it even was the Ethereum subreddit. I honestly can't even remember. I know the cryptocurrency subreddit wasn't even a thing back then. Twitter wasn't a thing back then. Very early days. We still used to go to like the Bitcoin Talks message boards to see what the latest coin you could mine would be. I remember getting into Zcash and like following guides and building like a Linux Ubuntu system just to try to do that like shortly after. But yeah, it was early days. That's wild. So thanks for being around, man. Wilmo, you've been here for a long time yourself, dude. Yeah, man. That was Nickel, that was part of what I wanted to do. That was like a big part of it, was trying to document the whole thing. And I think I succeeded in that somewhat because, yeah, I succeeded in documenting a lot of things. A lot of people aren't aware, obviously, since it's on Odyssey, but it's still there. So I imagine if there's ever any documentaries that when I look at some of the early days, there would be some interesting footage to have out there. And yeah, I mean, I covered so much almost on a daily basis. Sometimes I was doing 5 videos a day when I eventually quit my job and went full time into this. And it feels like ages ago, but that was basically 2017. And that video, I think, was still 2016. Yeah. Or 2015. No, that had to have been 2016 for sure. Probably around August when I did that last video. But so much of my content, at least I didn't lose it. That's why I'm so grateful for Odyssey. And if you guys don't know, you can link it to your YouTube channel. Maybe you want to do the same, Nickel, for some reason. Although I can't see why you would get blacklisted on YouTube for the content you're doing. And you guys should absolutely check out Nickel if you haven't done so. His content is awesome. His latest content, I really appreciate it. You're gonna really enjoy it playing it in the background. I'll probably watch some of your videos later, bro. But yeah, you can link it here and have all your videos backed up. This was dope. This was a bus that we took to a Bitcoin conference in 2019. I think BitBoy was there too, the Crypto Bit Bus, but it wasn't named after him. There's Crypto Stash. I just did like a bunch of interviews on the bus on the way, either there or on the way back. I think it was on, no, it was on the way back. Closing thoughts.
We could have squeezed 1 or 2 more people on board and stuff like that. So yeah, if you're out there, sorry guys, man. I wish we had gotten the emails or connected online on Twitter.
I don't know, man. That was a super informative bus. This guy was so smart.
I was sleeping on the way out here. I didn't really socialize, but when you have,
he reminds me of like when I first got into Bitcoin or crypto, rather, after like Bitcoin, and saw this whole other world and just like digested all the information I could take. So that was that dude. There's Gaston.
All that legal document is going to be, we can ban your account or freeze your account for something you've done, or
I don't know, man. I'm not gonna like play the video, but yeah, that was a great conference. I actually had a really good time there. But that was like one of those Bitcoin only conferences where it's like dirty to say anything that's not Bitcoin, to talk about anything that's not Bitcoin. But a lot of the maximalists did give me time. I did a bunch of other interviews there that were uploaded to the show, and they spoke with me gladly. Yeah, well, I don't know. DAO hack, that was crazy. It was crazy. Most people in crypto now have probably no idea what's going on with that. Most people don't even understand how cryptocurrencies work. I had seen like a poll recently that 98% of people who are into it have no idea how it works. That was being shared, I think, on the cryptocurrency subreddit. Let's go check out the cryptocurrency subreddit, because who was it here that mentioned Ultimate Gandhi? Yeah, it was Ultimate Gandhi who mentioned that how to not get rug pulled in 2025. Damn it, I needed to sell in 2021. Yeah, well, there was a post here that was pretty positive. Where is it here? Talking about what the price could be like. Oh yeah, look at this. Litecoin halving is 13 days away. So where is the LTC price rally? Maybe people reading this will start the rally. Maybe Litecoin is about to explode. Others are saying it's priced in that thread. I don't know. Possible opportunity there, right? Are you guys still holding Litecoin? But yeah, that was this post. I guess I can't find it right now. That was talking about, oh yeah, right here. TLDR, I 100% guarantee that Bitcoin will follow the same pattern it has its entire existence. And there will be a bull run that starts in July 2024. So, right around the Bitcoin halving at $25,000. Ends when Bitcoin hits $150,000 in July 2025. So for 1 year, you're going to see the price just boom. Then it's going to crash down to $50,000 in July 2026. Guaranteed, right? This guy's going to give you your money back. That's how guarantees work, right? Who is this? Abraham Stinkin. So Abraham Stinkin. Dates and numbers may vary. So how are you guaranteeing this? I don't know. Anyway, I went ahead and did a little research, he says, and drew some charts so that the people can know exactly. Well, maybe it's just an extremely general, educated guess when the next crypto bull run will begin. Now, this is all based strictly off of patterns from the past decade or so. This is not technical analysis, which I think is mostly garbage. So this is just, hopium, which is much better than technical analysis. Bitcoin had bull runs. Well, I used to do this back when I started the show. I would look at like old patterns and how they would repeat. And if you were watching back then, you remember I covered that a lot. Like, if we saw this kind of price appreciation in the past, then based on the next Bitcoin halving, what happened there, and then the pullbacks, and then looking at how they get smaller, and looking at how it's not exactly the same, but it does tend to repeat the same cycle, and it's all fractal-like. Like, that was a huge inspiration for the show Fractals. Then we're going to have another bull run again in 2016, 2017, and in fact, that did happen. So let's not knock it completely, right? Anyway, Bitcoin had bull runs in 2013, 2017, and 2021, followed by subsequent crashes about a year later. Each of these runs was predicated by the Bitcoin halving event. If you don't know what it is, look it up. I'm not going to explain it here. Anyway, yeah, like you said, he drew some charts. I don't think he drew much. He drew like 2 lines, like a giant green line, than like a giant red line. I'm not even gonna bother opening these. Anyway, yeah, massive price appreciation. So to sum things up, this is exactly what's gonna happen. This is financial advice. Okay, that's I guess the whole chart for whoever wants to pause this video later and check it out for yourself. Anyway, yeah, there you go. So this is pretty much guaranteed, guys. It's going to be on July 1st, 2024. We're going to start a massive bull run. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, you guys, that we're pretty much flat here. It's going to explode from like 25,000 to 150,000, which is going to be a 600% increase in a bull run lasting 364 days. You know, give or take. Numbers can vary. Your mileage may vary. Then the bear crash is going to last 364 days and drop 66%. Because, you know, like it dropped in 2017, like 87%. Then it was like 70 whatever percent. So the next one, it only makes sense, 66%. It's going to go from 150,000 to $50,000. So if you want to sell, probably when it hits like, you know, 140,000, you might want to think about scaling out. And then when it gets back down to $50,000, you can FOMO back in and we'll do it all over again, baby. That's the game plan. I'm not personally writing out game plans like this right now, but I read what people have to say. This one checks out, bro. I could see this happening. Actually, I would think more likely Bitcoin, if just based off a lot of what I've looked at, probably more likely be around 125,000 bucks. And people underestimate, right? Fear. I mean, well, they underestimate fear too, right? We saw that, right? Anyway, they underestimate greed and FOMO. And how degens, this was being talked about, how degenerates have seemingly endless capital in a bull run to FOMO into all these coins. So anyway, what's up? Let's see. Yeah, it was a nightmare, Meredith Rose. Thanks, Meredith. Videos are like a crypto documentary. It's like a super long documentary. Hey, Scott. Thank you so much. Nice to see you, Scott. Hi. Always saying hi from Australia, man. Ultimate Gandhi, do you think there can be another Ethereum like Solana, AVAX, or Matic missed out on so much buying? Would be dream of getting 1000x? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. There's going to be coins that come out that still don't exist right now, that if you're early enough into them, you'll be able to take advantage of that ride. And I think what happened here with the Ripple news is pretty good, right? Because it was a case against institutional traders. So basically, when institutional traders bought Ripple secretly, privately, private sales, they bought XRP from Ripple. That was a security transaction, whereas retail buying off the market, public market, was not. So this means that these kind of pre-sales, at least in the United States, are less likely to happen, which means that tokens that are issued or available here early on would allow for earlier access to those books, I would think, because people would be more scared of the SEC in this kind of scenario, and they would make it more public, which is what I wanted to see with ICOs. So I think those opportunities are going to be available. Are those coins out there right now? I don't know. I pay attention to a lot of stuff, and there's still much stuff still out there that I don't pay attention to. So I don't know. Right now, for example, I wonder if Blur has a token. Blur is being talked about how badly, for example, Blur NFTs. I don't think it's going to be NFTs that are going to be crazy in the next market. But as they say, right, when crypto traders are making money, they buy NFTs. That's what they do. I don't know. That's what they did in the last market. But anyway, Blur is a more decentralized version of OpenSea. OpenSea is kind of killing itself. So if there is some sort of Blur token, probably something interesting to look into. I think it's tricky to try to invest in any specific what's up, Kiwi? Specific NFT collection, unless you're buying like CryptoPunks, IMO. Even Ape Yacht Club went down, Bored Ape Yacht Club, quite a lot. But anyway, I think buying the platform, depending how it's structured, is something to look into. And I'm still not sure what that trend is going to be. I think it would be really exciting again to see some sort of okay, so yesterday Facebook made available Llama 2. So Llama is Facebook's AI generative model, and let me see if I can even pull that up. Llama 2. As soon as you go to like the website, it says download the model, free for research and commercial use. That's interesting. So imagine you had some sort of crowd-funded platform that would charge for tokenization for people who want to interact with Llama 2 on some sort of large scale that is funded by some sort of project. I think that would be something really excited. I would be very excited for. I haven't seen that yet. Again, this just got announced yesterday, this being available. But if I saw something like that coming out with the right team, of course, and structured properly, if I saw that white paper, I would buy the shit out of it. We'll say something like that. I think AI could very well be what fuels a lot of the next rally. AI tokens. I think we haven't really seen good AI tokens yet, but they're probably coming, and so I'll be trying to pay attention to that market. Somebody out here should probably make like an AI cryptocurrency subreddit specifically just for that, to talk about different coins and projects coming out and explore those ideas. I would love to see that. But anyway, yeah, to answer your question, Ultimate Gandhi, I think absolutely there's going to be those opportunities to make 1000x gains. I just don't know exact names right now. For the most part, okay, so like this was, let me see if I could show you guys something else. So like BitBoy was being talked about on the cryptocurrency subreddit today. I watched 300 plus BitBoy videos totaling 46 hours. Here's my analysis. And he basically shows if you had put money into BitBoy's tokens that were talked about versus the Bitcoin and ETH. So Bitcoin and ETH only versus like the S&P 500. That's how much money you would have, assuming like you sold at the all-time highs for each of these things. It would be very unlikely that you would sell the all-time highs for all those coins of BitBoy. So very risky trade to try to take. But take a look at ETH. Overall, you're going to notice that buying the blue chip cryptos, ETH and Bitcoin provided overall the best returns. So I think there's something to be said for that. Generally, you have to be somewhat sophisticated to get into projects early on, unless you just get lucky, and it gets harder and harder as time goes by, from what I've noticed. So for the most part, I think the average person should just buy BTC and ETH. Although recently stocks have been doing quite good, right? You're seeing like Nvidia explode. You're seeing Meta get renewed interest. You're seeing, like Mark Zuckerberg is the good guy, open sourcing this stuff, or making it available rather. Llama 2 to everybody. Like what a return! Incredible! What a comeback! So yeah, good for Mark Zuckerberg. Any thoughts on Link banned oracles? I haven't been following it as much, Wendo. I do appreciate the question, but I think Link is still the leader here. So if I'm holding Link, I'd probably, like the buy, sell, hold, I'd probably hold on to it. I'm not seeing much else happen in the Oracle space, although there could be something in the Oracle space for decentralizing like L1s and L2s that could be interesting, but I haven't really heard of anything specific that's on my radar, man. But that's a good question. Maybe somebody else has some thoughts on Link banned and other oracles. Let's see. People are still interested somewhat in NFTs, and I think it's mostly people who have lost money on NFTs. They're still interested in NFTs. They're still trying to hype NFTs, but there are still people making money flipping NFTs. They're volatile, just like any other market, and so buying a collection before others do, of course, still going to make you some money, but there's still interest. It's just been curbed somewhat, just like everything else in this space. Privacy coins could definitely be a new trend, Crypt0, especially like when this was going on with these attacks with the SEC against many coins that were not like Bitcoin specifically. Even ETH might have been in the crosshairs, or maybe it still is. Who the heck knows? People are talking about privacy coins, the importance of that. It would be difficult for them to of course, like track who has what or take hostile actions against them just because of the very nature of some of these coins and their organization, like Monero, for example. So that I think is, and Monero has a very limited amount, just like Bitcoin. I think that's going to be a super interesting one still throughout time. Zcash I'm not hearing as much about. I wonder what's up with Zcash. Dash, I know had a real pop recently. I haven't been following that one as well. What's your thoughts on honest on Solana? For the longest time I was down on it. It was expensive with outages. Yeah, man. I imagine if you were really trying to transact on it, there were a lot of outages, like 9 outages in a year or something like that. Really insane. I think there's a place for something that's more federated, as far as allowing who can run nodes and managing a more centralized database. I think there's something interesting about just messing with economics, right? And token issuance, staking, and do that on centralized and decentralized models. There might be different needs and niches for each one. So why not? Like, if I think Solana could have a place, right? They have different partnerships that are deep seated, no pun intended. And it doesn't seem to want to die. It seems like a coin that doesn't want to die. So to me, it looks like Solana is here to stay. Despite all the public shaming and outcry, it still comes back with interest. So I think it'll be around for this cycle. I don't think it's one of the coins that's going to be lost and forgotten. Am I invested into it? No, because I prefer to invest in open models, open things that I think would better benefit a move from a more centralized world and more into a decentralized world. That's just been a lot of what got me interested in investing and got me into a lot of these projects, but it's a different time. So I can see that being a place in people's utilities and portfolios. Why not? In certain cases. Let's see what else we got here. I haven't heard about any flaw with Litecoin. Yeah, Litecoin keeps going as well, for sure. Do I regret not investing in Hex? No, it doesn't keep me up at night at all. Never have I been like, damn, I just missed mad gains with Hex. From my understanding, Hex price has gone down significantly, and people like to bash it for that. They'll be like, it's down 90%. But that's like, it's confusing, I think, to people. People use that to want to kind of bash on it. But my understanding is most people stake it, and therefore they actually have more Hex, and therefore they have more dollars in their pocket. It's certainly not down like 90% if they staked it. If you just like bought it yourself and didn't stake it, then I guess you're SOL. You're Solana. You're shit out of luck. Ah, man. Anyway, yeah, no, it doesn't keep me up at night, and nor will I still invest in it because it's still something that I think is centrally controlled in different ways, and it goes against my investment thesis. So since it goes against my investment thesis, it doesn't really bother me. And it's the same thing with other things, whether it's XRP, which I bought like $100 of just to like say thanks guys for going through that case and making the SEC look bad. Not to actually invest in it, but just as like a token to say, you know, I appreciate what you did for the ecosystem. So I don't think that I can't foresee that happening personally for me with Hex. But yeah, to answer your question, no, it doesn't keep me up, man. But if you're doing good on it and you took some profits, booked profits, still hasn't gone down, good for you. Good for you. I'm not gonna knock that. Mina, that's a good coin, Wendell. I could look into it. You heard good things about it. You got a small bag. I got a small bag of Skittles, man. We do actually have some Skittles, small bag. I'm gonna get into that. But no, I wonder what Mina is. I haven't heard of that one myself. I don't. Do I regret not buying his bags? If you're talking about Richard Hart, I don't regret that, right? Him with the Prada bags. Was it Prada walking out? There's a famous, or Gucci walking out of the store with bags, like one even dangling from his mouth. Oh man, so ostentatious. Nah, man. Burb is cute. Thank you, Curve Shifter. He's probably got to poop soon, so I'm probably gonna wrap up the video because this video is for. What's up, Kiwi? You got something to say? Say it into the microphone. Say it. Did you guys hear that? What? Say something, Kiwi. He's happy. He's chilling right now. You've been in crypto since 2011, Nicholas Canada? That's wild, dude. I would love to chat with you like in private one day and hear about your own stories, especially in the early days. Like some of the stuff I don't like to just put out there on blast for sure on YouTube. And I know some people, I respect their privacy, but I love to hear the stories for sure. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for showing up. Maybe we'll probably do this again. I just wanted to catch up with you guys, show you guys that the news isn't crazy. I mean, we can like what I'll do is I'll go to the Cryptos News subreddit, and when I find something that's interesting maybe or worth sharing, I'll share it there. If not, I'll retweet it. So like U.S. presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has vowed to exempt crypto from capital gains tax if elected. Specifically, I heard he was talking about Bitcoin. So he was saying if he's some people are saying this, he's just trying to get donations, and crypto lobbyist groups have a lot of money to donate. They have in the past. So it's possible he's just trying to get money. I think it would be very difficult for him to exempt Bitcoin from some sort of capital gains tax or anything else, because it might not seem fair to other assets. He'd probably be sued by the IRS or something like that. If he would do this on day one, he said. So I don't know about that. I don't think that'll happen. But anyway, that's like nothing news to me. Politician news, nothing news for the most part. Litecoin halving, we talked about that. NY's Taurus has asked SEC if they will ease up on cryptocurrencies. I think everybody's telling Gensler to ease up, bro. Like, you're going a little hard, my friend. He's all like, but investor protection. I'm upset about the ruling on retail, but at least we're protecting the institutions. This is like a legit thing that's being shared on Twitter right now. Maybe I can pull that up for you guys. That's going on right now. Binance has been cutting back on employee benefits. They've been laying people off. Binance has been having a rough time with regulation. So, again, kind of nothing news for the most part. Coinbase had to halt staking in 4 states. That really sucks. I'm so sorry for you if you're in any of these 4 states. This did happen. So, California, oh man, I'm glad I left there. New Jersey, South Carolina, and Wisconsin users would be restricted from accessing certain staking services until further notice. So that royally sucks, man. I dodged a bullet there in California. Since I have some stake there, right? That's terrible. Texas is much more open. Texas, Florida, other places to live are much more open to cryptocurrencies. And I'm sorry about you being protected, brah. Sorry about you being protected from having more assets, potentially, in the name of protection. Funny how they didn't protect us before FTX went down, before Celsius, you name it. But they protect us after the fact. They protect us after the fact. Anyway, I didn't retweet the video with Gensler, but maybe if we like search for it on Twitter. This is still where most of the cryptocurrency conversation is happening, by the way. It did not move over to Threads, which is like the new Twitter launched by Meta that links to your Instagram. That had like, what is it, a 30, 50 million, I don't know, a crazy amount of users right away. That dropped off like 30%. I read yesterday, daily active users. There's really not that much going on there as far as like the first source for crypto news. It's still taking place on Twitter at this time. Anyway, I wish I could find that video of him. I should have, oh, there it is. Here it is.
Of course, you won't be surprised. There's a lot of
Oh yeah, Gary Gensler speaks on the XRP ruling.
interest in cryptocurrency today.
Really?
Yes.
And is this from ChatGPT?
No, everything is from humans now. These are. How does the federal court ruling last week in the Ripple case impact your stance toward digital asset regulation? Does it inject urgency into the need for federal legislation to clarify regulatory oversight of this industry?
Look, our mission remains exactly what I spoke about earlier, about investor protection, promoting capital formation, and the markets in the middle. This is a recent decision, just a handful of days ago. We were pleased from that decision, recognizing the importance of protecting investors on the institutional investors in that, and that the court movement with regard to fair notice. And while disappointed on what they said about retail investors, we're still looking at it and assessing that opinion.
Thank you so much, Gary, for your comment, man. I appreciate that. And Mr. Mo, I have considered collaborating with other crypto YouTubers, but for the most part, I feel like the channel needs to be in a good place before I feel like promoting it like crazy. I feel like I have to have a renewed kind of focus and new ideas to share, and just like a different kind of energy than it is right now. I'm happy to keep it kind of humble at this time and not have the wildness. There's this kind of weird thing that happens once you're doing that, and like people expect things, and it feels phony in certain ways. There's a lot of really good YouTubers, and I would be interested in having them on, at least to hear their thoughts, right? Like, for example, would some of these YouTubers want to be on this show now to share with you guys, knowing that there's not that many viewers at this time? We have like, concurrent viewers, like 20 concurrent viewers at a time. Well, if they're looking for publicity or to get their own word out there, probably not. But if they're just wanting to chat, hang out, and talk, I would love to have them on the show. at some point. So I'll probably look into that. And there's certain people that I can ping that don't care about that would have some great information to share with you. But I think I'm just waiting to make sure that some of these technical issues I've been having are resolved. Like I still have that audio glitching. And I think some of that has to do with the internet connection here in the house where I'm living and the upload speed here. And so probably when I move, if things are a little bit better, or if I still have like audio glitching like that, then I'll probably have to invest in some sort of new interface or audio interface. Those get expensive, man, getting good ones. And frankly, I'm not making that much on this show anymore. I'm like pretty much whatever I do make, thanks to the Patreon, is going to like make sure that the website is still up and to paying for XSplit so that my subscription can be paid, and pretty much not making any money on this show at all. So it's just continuing to have fun and document it. Even my videos that I'm doing now, even though it's a new show, are still being put up on that Odyssey page because it's the Odyssey team was really kind enough to help link my new show. They did that for me, and I really appreciate that. They were super supportive and made sure I didn't have to have some sort of separate channel here, a new channel, so I can keep everything together and continue documenting what's going on with crypto. So maybe that's really the mission here. But to comment, to get commentary from different YouTubers, I think would be exciting if they really have something genuine to share, and I think they're sincere in their beneficial efforts. So yeah, I'll probably look into that. Like I said, once maybe I move and get things a little bit more settled. At this time, I don't know. I don't want to have to deal with the technical issues. But thank you guys for being super patient. Those of you who are here in the early days of the show, it means a lot. Hopefully we do get the numbers up at some point. Thanks, Crypt0. No audio glitch today. That's good. That's a good sign. My camera wasn't working last week, like I had mentioned, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna turn on the camera and the computer and everything, and if it works, I'm gonna do some sort of video. If it doesn't work, then I'm not gonna do a video. That's what I told Elle. She's like, "Are you gonna do a video? It's getting late. The sun is going down," and she's right. It's going down. But I turned it on and everything was fine. So I was like, I have to do a video. So yeah, we're just hanging out today. Anyway, that means I'll better prepare for next week. I'll know that everything is working fine for the most part, and I'll hopefully get some good news to share with you guys. Like I mentioned, not a crazy amount this week. Nothing. I think if I wouldn't have done a video, I don't think you're missing very much. Like I said, price still tapered. Bitcoin under $30,000. Like I talked somewhat about the price at the beginning of this video, and yeah, maybe there are tinfoil hats forces out there that want to keep Bitcoin at this level, at least temporarily. I think there's money to be made during the halving and some of the hype around that. We're seeing the media shift to be more positive about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Maybe this is the beginning of that FOMO and that greed that I was saying that you don't want to underestimate, that takes us into $150,000 Bitcoin by 2025. It's going to come from somewhere, I'm sure. And I think what's important is that more and more people are, again, waking up to the fact that the dollar needs to change, that capitalism isn't working in their favor. Like I saw a meme today. How is it possible that you're working 8 to 12 hours a day and you still can't afford your rent? You still can't afford to pay the rent, the bills, the car, the insurance, the phone, and the food. Like if you're working all day and you're still not able to afford that, then, you know, not to be like a drooling socialist, something is wrong. And I think that could be something very well that drives people to crypto, especially as people put in the rear view mirror some of the bad news that they've been hearing about it. And people are like so quick to be propagandized. Apparently the CIA believes that if they repeat the same subject, the same thing for 2 weeks in a row, eventually that person will believe anything. And so it's the same thing with what you're seeing with the media. You hear the same crap over and over. You start to believe it. You hear that crypto is dangerous, that crypto is full of crime, that it's there to be a scam. Eventually people start believing it. But when the media has something to gain, and they definitely will, I think, at some point, or we have more open discussion about this thing, and you see this loss of trust in the news, which you are seeing as well, and people getting sources from other places, I think people will wake up and begin to realize at least the need for those blue chip cryptos. And that is part of what keeps me quite hopeful. And I'm someone who does think we're going to see a bull market. I'm not someone that's like, oh, I think we're going to be flat, or we're not going to be seeing a bull market. I firmly believe we're going to be seeing a bull market. And if we don't see a bull market happening, give or take 6 months around the halving, or maybe, about 6 months in either direction, then I think we're all going to have to really reassess how we view at least price movements in this space. And then we'll have to just be in it for the tech. Not really. Like, there was a discussion. If you win the Powerball lottery, would you abandon crypto? I saw that taking place today. Hell no, man. A lot of that would go straight into crypto. Although I did hear that the lottery is a scam. What a surprise. Apparently Epstein, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on YouTube, but anyway, apparently Epstein's estate won the lottery. Explain that one, guys. And you can look it up as fact. Take care, everyone. I appreciate y'all making it out. Remember to hit like, subscribe, share the videos if you enjoy them. And I'll catch you next time. Stay cryptic. Peace.